Welcome back. This is the last video in the Secure Marriage Framework introduction, and we're going to be telling you about the Secure Marriage Manifesto. If you don't have a clear goal of where you're going, what you want your marriage to actually look like, it's actually harder to measure if you're actually making it happen. We all know what we don't want in our marriage, but if you're not clear about what you actually do want in your marriage, then again, you tend to wander, you tend to kind of be confused. So the Secure Marriage Manifesto, which you can actually print off right below this video, is a one-page document that you can hang on the refrigerator. In fact, we suggest printing off 9 copies of it. Put it in your bathroom, tape it to your steering wheel in your car, put it in your workspace at your office or whatever you need to do. Hang it up, and it has 6 things, 6 goals, 6 things that you want in your relationship that you're going to be striving for. Each one of those 6 things relates to one of the parts of the Secure Marriage Framework. You can use this as a reminder throughout the day, throughout this entire series. So again, when you're cooking and making dinner, you open up the fridge, it's like, oh yeah, there it is. We need to work on the empathy piece, and we need to, or the goal is not to blame each other anymore, or we really truly want to understand each other's feelings, or we want to get on the same page of all the big issues. When you start to see this, it's actually going to be kind of floating in the back of your head, and you'll start to see ways that you can make it happen every day, day in, day out in your relationship. It's a real simple tool, but it's actually really, really effective. We actually call it a manifesto because a manifesto is a statement of belief. It says, this is what we are about. We've actually written it down, and we're intentional, we're purposeful about making this happen in our relationship, right?
Right. When Paul and I were married, I think probably around our 11th anniversary, we were trying to figure out what it was that we wanted to do for our anniversary, something that was significant. And I don't know why 11 happened to be a significant number, but for whatever reason, it seemed to be. And I jokingly said to him, hey, let's go get tattoos, knowing full well that that was not even going to be an option because, number 1, I don't like pain. Number 2, I don't like needles. And number 3, why would we ever want to get tattoos? The more we talked about it, the more I thought, or the more we thought, we should do something that that would signify what we want the Elmore name to stand for. We have always talked about wanting to stand for integrity, for honesty, for kindness. But now we had this idea we could come up with some kind of a logo or some kind of a something that we could make as a tattoo that would actually stand for that. And so Paul designed something, we both got tattooed, and it's this little brand that we have on ourselves now that reminds us of what we stand for, where we want to be headed, what direction we want to go, just kind of like a manifesto.
Yeah, we actually branded ourselves. We marked ourselves that says, this is what we stand for. If you don't know what you stand for, then it's easy to get off track. It's easy to get confused. It's easy to get lost in the weeds because you don't know the direction you're going. That's the purpose of the Secure Marriage Manifesto. Okay, by now you should have 3 things so you're prepared and ready to start jumping into the 6 parts of the Secure Marriage Framework. The first is the Pick a Fight worksheet, so you have a topic that you're looking towards and something to apply the different parts of the framework to. You have that self-assessment worksheet, so you can see where you're currently at or ranking yourself on those 6 parts. And then you have the Secure Marriage Manifesto that's going to remind you of where you're heading in this process. Now that we've got the groundwork laid, we're ready to jump into the next module, which is talking about openness. Before we do that, if you wanted to have 2 more bonus videos, we actually have one that's called the unconventional couple. If you look at how the world says relationships are supposed to work, it follows a conventional model. And if we look at marriages right now, that conventional model isn't working very well. Marriages are falling apart. Marriages are struggling. People are bitter and angry towards each other. So to actually have a successful marriage, you need to have an unconventional model. The second bonus video is for individuals who have a strong faith basis or a system that they work from. We actually come from a Christian worldview, and we hold hold Scripture very highly. If you want to see how this applies to Scripture and how there's some eternal principles in all of the framework as it weaves in and out, you can actually go watch that one. It's called the 1 Peter Framework, and it actually walks you through the argument that's kind of laid out in 1 Peter, which is the actual foundation of everything we do in secure marriage. So if that is something that's important to you, we encourage you to go watch that bonus video. I think that's it. I think we're ready to jump in.
We are.
Ready to go?
We're looking forward to it.
All right, you guys can move on to module number 2, which is openness. That's the first part of the 6 parts of the secure marriage framework. Thanks for making it this far, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You should have 3 things now as you're getting ready to jump into the actual parts of the secure marriage framework. First is, oh goodness. You should have 3 things by now to get started. One more time. By now, you should have done the last 4 assignments. You should have 3 things as you're getting started and blah, 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 blah. You should have 3 things by now so that you're ready to jump into. See, I do it too. Okay.